person who approved me for my home. You have to go to a loan officer. They have to approve you to get a loan for the purchase of a home. She, I bought my house maybe a year prior, and my papers were sitting on the foreclosed lady's desk. And she walked by the desk, saw my name, and said, "Carol Adams, Carol Adams." I remember her. She said, "I remember fighting real hard for her to get that house." She pulled my paper. She said, "Don't process this one yet." She just happened to be walking by the woman's desk. Mm-hmm. And she took my papers home, and she called me. And she said, "I just saw your papers in the foreclosures lady's office. What's going on?" I told her, and she told me, "Bring me every bill you have." And I brought them all to her, and I laid them all out. That's me. And she said, she gave me instructions. She cut them off my car. And she said, "I noticed that you're not behind in anything else except your mortgage." She said, "Now this is what we're going to do." And she re-instructed me. She showed me how to pay my bill. She said, "Mortgage gets paid first. Before you eat, before you keep your lights on, before you do anything, you pay your mortgage first." And she put the back mortgage onto the back, the late payment onto the back, and then added the increase onto my mortgage a little bit just to pay the back. And I was able to keep my house. You guys didn't even know that. But because I had served God in the past when I was, years ago when y'all were young, God made a way for me to be able to keep my home. There's so many miracles that happened when y'all were growing up. And maybe y'all weren't even aware of. A lot of your friends would come to the house and stuff, and they would talk to me, and they knew, about God and stuff, and they was always in trouble, And not only was my house the place to come and hang out, but it was a place where people came to talk to me about their problems and God and stuff.
As long as she wasn't watching the news, we had her full attention.
So,
what's some of your favorite stories as a child?
Just being able to. I was, especially where we was from, on the street. I was paranoid.
Really?
Half of the time, as soon as nighttime. Even though I knew I could be in a certain spot and be all right. Certain times you knew you had to go because. Where we lived at, it was a terrorist zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We snatched mommy back in the house. Yeah, went outside screaming, "There's kids out here!"
Yeah, it was where we lived at. It was like we lived in Iraq somewhere. Yeah, because, and I remember, one of my scariest moments was seeing my dad walk away and then just disappear at night, because it was just so dark on the street because they were shooting out all the lights and stuff. I see him walk up the street, and then all of a sudden, everything, he just walk into a black hole. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And I remember, I think it was you, Mom, who was like, "Why are you so paranoid?" I'm just like, I don't know, because there was just so much going on where we lived at on our street.
It was a drug street, and the gang banging was going on.
We was literally up the street
miracles from it.
They respected.
They never
Remember somebody stole a car, a geezer, somebody stole a car.
No, they were trying to steal my car.
They chased them down.
They chased them away.
They never ever had any problem with us. They never touched us. They never did anything.
It was like the favor of God just covered us and protected us. And I used to get up in their face and I said, "You will not sell drugs in front of my house. Yeah. You will not. I don't bother you. I just ask that you give me the same respect and don't bother me. If you want to sell drugs, you take it up the street, but you will not sell drugs in front of my house, in front of my children." And so many times I put my life in danger when they would come and pull up in front of, the street.
Jules did too.
Me and her both.
Jules used to be out there, and I'd be like, "Jules, please come in the house." But she would not. She would not listen. She would go out there and go crazy.
If you wanted to go buy drugs.
Remember our body slam there?
I couldn't deal with some of the stuff at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like I didn't know what was going to happen because I seen. So, I remember looking out the window. I think it was in your room. Yeah, you could look out the room and see the whole block. Right. I remember just sitting out there, and all you see is just sparks, gunfire and sparks, and they run in the back of our yard and stuff like that. It was just.
They found
they was.
That was the reason why I moved.
Yeah, right after that.
You remember that?
That was when I moved. That's when I packed up, and I remember one time we was all in the house. And we was all just sitting on the counter watching TV.
On the other side of the fence.
People don't.
Do you remember when they had I think somebody let off fire? I don't think it was gunfire. I think it was fireworks. and all of y'all fell to the floor like y'all were in Iraq.
Yeah.
And y'all literally hit the floor.
And then I started screaming.
And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And I knew I had to get my kids out. God made a way. He sold my house. And I moved to a better area and a better place. I mean, there's so many miracles that God did for us in our lives that y'all not even aware of. And even how I kept praying to sell my house. And finally, somebody walked in off the street and asked to buy my house. I didn't even my house didn't even sell to the realtor. So it's like so many miracles. God has been in our lives, and He has protected us, and He has made a way for us. I just wanted to make an announcement. After Passover, I'm going to do Passover this year, and I wanted all you guys to be there. But after Passover,
Mom's going to be teaching, and Mom's going to be teaching every week. Because before I had my son, when I was still pregnant, I was like, God, where should I go for church? Because I'm just not into being in church all your life for that whole day and all of that. Long story short, my mom, the Lord told me, my mom, let your mom teach your son and pastor us. And so I talked to Shala about it. So we'll go to Shala's house sometimes, or go to Jerry's house, maybe go to Micah's house. Whoever wants it, we're going to do it.
And God's been telling me for too long, if your children won't come to church, take the church to your children. So before I teach the world anything, I need to teach my kids, because I don't want not one of my children to be lost.
Because we do tithes now.
Okay.
We do tithes now.
We're out of time. So on behalf of the By My Hand Show, we love you and we thank God for you. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Spend some time with your kids.
Amen.
Devil's Head. Victory.
So everybody, look in the camera. Bye. On the By My Hand Show.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Spend some time with your kids.
Absolutely. Let me go spend some time with you.